X1R is a revolutionary high-technology lubrication system. Adding X1R to your engine, transmission, power steering, and rear end will dramatically reduce the friction. The benefits include increased horsepower, better gas mileage, longer engine and part life. X1R, horsepower in a bottle, friction eliminator tested and proven by the best. X1R was dyno tested and proven in January 1991 by Morgan McClure Racing in Abington, Virginia, and used to condition the Morgan McClure No. 4 Kodak car, driven by Ernie Irvin, winner of the Daytona 500 in 1991. Race proven at the Daytona 500, the No. 73 X1R Racing Oldsmobile, driven by Phil Barkdahl, was the second-day fastest qualifier in 1991 and finished 17th in 1992. David Probst drove the No. 27 X1R Racing Pontiac in the Daytona 200 Series to an 8th-place finish. X1R is involved with Andretti Liefert Racing Incorporated. They ran a 1984 Corvette Trans Am in the SCCA National Series. Larry Liefert, a renowned engine builder from Connecticut, tested X1R on the dyno and gained 14 extra horsepower with less fuel usage. X1R is dyno proven and endorsed by the American Motorcycle Institute.
We're very excited to be involved in a small sort of way with the X1R. We're constantly on the lookout for new products that can make our students more aware, more competitive in the industry. And when we had the opportunity to see this product, we were a little skeptical at first, as everyone seems to be. We see so many people coming to us, but the more we looked at it, the more excited we got. And so we're very happy to have been a little small part of the X1R.
With the very latest technology on their DynoJet dynometer, AMI has proven X1R is horsepower in a bottle.
Well, several years ago we found a new product came on market line called X1R, horsepower in a bottle. I first noticed it when the guys that were winning at Daytona were using it in the NASCAR circuit. From there we thought, well, they can use it in NASCAR and it's been proven there, then we're going to give it a shot on motorcycles. So we started doing some dyno testing for the lubricant, and we've tested a number of different lubricants and horsepower additives and friction eliminators, but this is the first one really that we've seen as drastic a results in such a short period of time for its application. It helps out in both low RPM torque and overall horsepower throughout the entire range of engine operation. We've done tests that have shown better gas mileage as well as better horsepower and torque. AMI has a race team, and we run a CBR 600 Honda. We run this bike in endurance, and we've done extensive testing on it to get the most horsepower out of it that we can. Even after doing the different cam timing changes that we have, running the different types of tolerances we have through the cam journals, crankshaft journals in order to loosen the engine up, and even the carburation changes that we've made, once we added the X1R, we still picked up additional horsepower and 4 miles an hour on top speed. This shows to us that the X1R is valuable in any engine, whether it be in a poor state of tune or in the top state of tune. We recommend X1R to all of our road racers that come through the facility. This year we tested several top teams. 2 of the boys were in victory lane in the 883 class in Harley Davidsons, and both of them were using X1R.
In the past 2 years, X1R has become a force in motorcycle racing. Canadian rider Owen Weichel has won 2 national Canadian championships and has won several races in the last year. Jeff Awesome Atwell won 21 races in the Midwest region in 1991 and attests that X1R horsepower in a bottle gave his motorcycle a 4 horsepower increase and increased top-end output by 300 RPM and 4 miles per hour. Let's talk about motorcycles away from the racetrack, and where better to start than with Harley-Davidson's motorcycles and 2 bikers who have ridden them for more than 20 years.
The first thing that I noticed was that the motor ran so much quieter. The big fairing on the front of this bike has a tendency to want to throw noise back at you, and it quieted the motor down tremendously. I don't get all that motor noise. I'm not overheating in stop-and-go traffic like I used to. And one of the things that really amazed me the most about it was the RPMs on my motorcycle increased so greatly. When I put this stuff in, I can shift out of first gear and I'm getting like 500 RPMs more out of the engine, and I couldn't do that before I put the X1R in, because the one thing I do know is that I know my motorcycle. And before I put the X1R in, I tested it out to see what it could do. And when I put it in to the engine and transmission in the primary here, I got increases that I could see and feel in the motorcycle. I've been recommending this product to all my motorcycling friends because the gains that I've gotten out of that product are just so tremendous that it's the type of thing that you need to tell people, that their motor's not going to overheat, the motor's going to run quieter, smoother. The transmission shifts like butter.
Since I've used this for 2 years, transmission is the smoothest thing I've ever had. It stops overheating immensely. I ride a lot of parades. I've been to a lot of meets. And you put 100, 200 bikes together, and it's first, second, and third gear, you're forever shifting, your bike can overheat. This bike has not overheated once. The ride is just phenomenal. Well, when we go to all our meets, I show people what I'm using. I tell them how I use it. The price, it's inexpensive for what it does. The benefits are beautiful. I tell a lot of people about it because it's a perfect product for a motorcycle. I know there's other things it's used for, but for a motorcycle, it's great, believe me. After all these years, 40 some odd years, I know when I've got something good, believe me.
Bobby Bossarday rides for Joe Robeson Harley-Davidson and has had an offer to race for Team Takora in Japan, who has started testing with X1R.
We went and did our first pro race down in Miami last year, and we finished 10th with the bike. And then over the winter, they had said that if I wanted to, I could ride the bike, and I really enjoy riding it. So we start off this season. So this is really my first full season of riding a Twins bike. Well, we've been using it for about, I guess for about a year. Evidently, John, the mechanic for Joe Robeson, the tuner of this bike here, had been using it before I even heard about it. I met one of the representatives, Les, from X1R. Came to my shop and he showed me some information that he had, and we ran a couple of tests, and I was pretty impressed with it, so we decided to try it in one of my race bikes, and it worked really good. Made the transmission shift easier, made the engine idle smoother. We started using it in even our delivery van. We get like an extra day's worth of gas mileage just out of our delivery van just by using this stuff.